For those of you who are still here, goodbye YouTube, and some of you guys might get what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't really have anything to talk about, and this is a pretty short NU battle, but it was actually really close and really crazy, and it was actually a pretty good battle in my opinion, and I'm using a really fun team that I based around Kangaskhan and Scolipede, two of my favorite NU Pokemon that I don't really get to use much, and I am planning to do a PS Live with this NU team, so be on the lookout for that when I do upload it. Now, looking at my opponent's team, it actually looks very scary. It looks really similar to mine actually. It seems to be focused around hazards and just destroying everything with Choice Banded Soft, Revenge Killing with Kangaskhan and Electabuzz, and then possibly trying to sweep with Calm Mind Musharna. So his whole team is a threat. But I'm going to be leading off with my Ampharos, as he actually ends up leading off with a Sock. Now, as soon as I saw him lead off with Sock, I came to the realization that Earthquake destroys my team, so I switch into my Scolipede. Thankfully, I am a defensive set with Protect, so I can go for a Protect on a second Earthquake so I can then live the next Earthquake, and I can hopefully start getting up my layers of spikes. As I get up one layer, he's going to go for another Earthquake. I have nothing that safely switches into this, so I really have no choice but to leave in my Scolipede to get up that second layer of spikes, which is going to be really good to wear down his team. As I bring in my Golurk, I know that he's going to be forced to switch out, so what I'm going to do is just go for the Shadow Punch, thinking that he might want to switch into the Seismitoad or the Musharna. That way I can get off a bit of higher damage. As he does bring in the Seismitoad, I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks, predicting him to go for his own Stealth Rocks, but he actually ends up going straight for the Scald, and I know that I should have use for Golurk, especially to prevent that Sock from spamming close combat. So what I'm going to do is switch into my Ampharos, knowing I can take an Earth Power. I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Grass, but I completely forgot about the fact that some Seismitoad tend to carry Earthquake, and my Ampharos gets just utterly destroyed. But I'm going to bring in my Sock, and I know I can just safely go for the close combat, so that's what I'm going to do as he brings in the Musharna. I was really hoping that after all the hazard damage, this close combat would be a 2-hit KO. Unfortunately, though, it's not, which means I'm going to be forced to switch out into my Golurk, because I don't want to bring in my Skunk Tank just yet, plus I predicted him to maybe want to go for a Thunder Wave. And then this turn, I can just go straight for the Shadow Punch, and the switch out to Kangaskhan was so painfully obvious, and I should have just gone for the Earthquake. That's what I really should have done, and if I had done that, this Kangaskhan no longer would have been a problem to me, because I have nothing that safely switches into this, and I have to leave in my Golurk, which means Sock is basically free to spam close combat. As you can see, this battle is really not going good for me. So I'm going to bring in my Sock, and I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake, predicting him to want to switch into the Scolipede, thinking I would go for the close combat, but no, he ends up making the safe switch into the Musharna. As I go for two Earthquakes, he's going to go for the Moonlight. Then this turn, I know that he might want to go for the Psychic, thinking I'm going to stay in, so what I'm going to do is switch into my Skunk Tank, and this way, I put him in a position where I could possibly Pursuit Trap him. But I know that the Pursuit is so obvious that I'm going to predict him to stay in and go for the Moonlight or the Thunder Wave, and I'm going to go for the Taunt. Then the following turn, I'm going to go for the Pursuit, which means with Musharna gone, with Musharna at such low HP, he can no longer safely switch into my Sock, which is going to be really helpful to me. So he brings in a Sock. I really have no choice but to go for the Sucker Punch, because I have nothing that switches into this, allowing me to now get a free switch into my own Sock. And I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake, because again, I'm thinking that he's going to want to bring in the Scolipede, thinking that I want to go for the close combat, but he sees that coming, and he switches into his Seismitoad, basically as Death Fodder, and I'm going to be able to get rid of that, which means his Stealth Rocker is gone. As he brings in the Kangaskhan, I know that the Fake Out is very obvious, and normally Kangaskhan tend to run enough speed to outspeed Adamant Sock, which means even if I stayed in, he would be able to outspeed me the following turn. So what I'm going to do is switch into my Kangaskhan, and because I run more speed than the normal Kangaskhan, I'm going to be able to outspeed his Kangaskhan, knock him out with the Drain Punch. As he brings in the Scolipede, this turn, the Sucker Punch is way too obvious, so what I'm going to do is predict him to go for a non-attacking move, and I'm going to go for the Double Edge, and thankfully, because of that misplay on his part, this has just given me a lot of momentum right now. As he brings in the Electabuzz, I know that he's going to want to go for the Focus Blast, so I really have no choice but to switch into my Sock, basically as Death Fodder. But thankfully for me, Focus Blast accuracy is only 70, and I believe the odds of hitting 2 Focus Blasts in a row is 49%, so you can't really be too upset that he missed the second Focus Blast. But at this point, that basically allows me to win the battle, because after I get rid of Musharna, because my Kangaskhan will be faster than his Sock, even if I wasn't faster, I do still have the Fake Out, which is +6 priority, and after the close combat, I know for a fact Fake Out will be able to knock out the Sock, and that's going to be the 1-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, as I said, crazy close fun battle. I can't believe I was actually able to pull out the victory. Thankfully though, because of that huge misplay with the Scolipede, that really gave me a lot of momentum, and the fact that he actually missed Focus Blast again gave me a lot of momentum. But as I said, you can't really be too upset that he missed Focus Blast. It's called Focus Miss for a reason. Although if anything, what he should have done was just gone straight for the Mega Horn with Scolipede. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he thought that I would be able to knock him out. Although, yes, the Sucker Punch was too obvious in the end. Mega Horn definitely would have been his better play. But yeah, really fun game, really close, really crazy. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to see more content. Make sure to go check out the video that I uploaded last night. It was a fun PS Live in UU, so you can click that. It should be playing on your screen right now. And I am out of here. Later, everybody.